Well, we're continuing the conversation at the Americares Partner Summit, and I'm so excited to be here in New York City with Holly Copeland, who is the Senior Director of Corporate Social Responsibility, Sustainability, and Impact at Horizon Therapeutics. Thank you so much for joining us here, Holly.
Thank you for having me.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Yeah? Good. Well, it's nice to meet you. It's nice to spend some time with you. So I'd love to just learn more about you. Tell me more about your role as the Director of Corporate Social Responsibility, Sustainability, and Impact at Horizon Therapeutics.
Sure. So I oftentimes tell people that I have the best job at Horizon. I don't know if others would agree, but the ability to create bridges of opportunity between our employees who are really passionate about giving back and supporting their communities, as well as connecting them to the partners that are doing the good work on the ground, like Americares, is really a great privilege and honor. So I love to be able to kind of build and create these bridges amongst these different groups.
Super cool. And we're here today because the theme is the future now, right? How did the pandemic propel us to this moment? So how did the pandemic propel Horizon Therapeutics, right, to this moment?
You know, it was interesting because when the pandemic first started, I saw some of our peers in the philanthropic space kind of do a reset on how they were showing up with their partners. And, you know, it was a new time, right? Like no one was really sure what to expect or how long the whole period would be. But for us, like what we wanted to do is to pivot, to really understand how the needs of our partners had adapted in the context of COVID and to support them in that journey. So whereas a lot of the support that we had extended may have been for specific programmatic support in the context of COVID, those needs changed. And we didn't want to pull back support, thereby sort of transforming the impact in ways that could affect the health of organizations that we partner with. So we continue to support them and allowed the flexibility with our partners to use those resources in new ways that allowed them to still work towards their mission.
Awesome. And what lessons in the past years do you think that you will propel you to your future work, right? Like how is that going to be reflected in the next 2 years?
So I think a lot of folks talk about or kind of have embraced this idea of human-centered design in how you deliver your philanthropy. So instead of it being this sort of top-down delivery of what the solutions are that are needed on the ground, to really think about the bottom-up approach. Who is the end user? How are they benefiting? And how can we create solutions that really address those needs and allow them to provide input in that process? And it feels to me like what COVID did was it really forced everyone to stop and slow down. And instead of kind of being on that hamster wheel of go, like we have to deliver, we have to create outcomes, to be a bit more reflective and understand the nuances that exist within the lives of individuals and to really be more intentional about weaving that into the solutions that we're delivering.
Do you have any advice for companies, big or small, for what they can do right now to make a small step towards their own corporate social responsibility?
Yes.
We're going to embrace this mindset that you were just talking about.
I love this question. It's actually one of my favorite questions to be asked because I try to view our role, Horizon Therapeutics, in the philanthropic, the corporate social responsibility space as really being an evangelist that you don't need to wait until you reach certain milestones in your business growth to begin giving back.
Thank you so much for this conversation. It was a pleasure chatting. We're going to keep the conversation going, and you can keep the conversation going via social media using the hashtag Partner4Health. And we have a great lineup that's going to continue going, ranging on topics ranging from medicine security to climate change to the evolving workforce. So we're really excited to keep it going, and thank you so much for being a part of the conversation.
Thank you for having me.